Man, this is some bombshell news. Like this cannot be real. At least that was my first thought. Like that doesn't make any sense. Like why should they like push the 1.0 like the second half forward and also like the end of 1.0? But it looks that they are actually about to do that. And I was like first looking at that screenshot like that must be fake, you know. But it seems to be actual real. So let's look at that. Here, Yinlin in 4 days. I will get to that. Let's see what they're saying here. Dear rowers, after careful consideration and discussions, we have decided to advance the release of certain events in Wuthering Waves version 1.0. We hope this change can enhance your gaming experience with the new content sooner. So they have definitely packaged some very needed changes and improvements to the game optimization, etc., into this update. So that's probably one of the major reasons why they want to push it forward, you know. As a result, the maintenance time for the end of version 1.0 will be moved up to June 28 at 5:59. So the whole like 1.1 will be pushed forward. So we will also be launching a new time-limited exploration event, Wuthering Exploration. We apologize for any inconvenience this may cause and offer our compensation for any disruptions to your plans. Cool. More compensation. Cool. I like that. So details of the event time adjustment are as follows. Convene event adjustments, character convene event when Thunder pours, Yinlin rate up. So yeah, she comes earlier. New event duration is now from June 6th. So we only get indeed 4 days to prep here. Or I still have 4 days left, you know. Up to June 26th, you know. Resonator Jinlin's wave bands will also be available in store earlier for exchange with Afterglow corals. The unlock prerequisite for Jinlin's companion story solitary path will also be adjusted accordingly. Weapon convene event absolute pulsation stringmaster also rate up. So a weapon will also be come out sooner, you know. So yeah, definitely people are also like kind of confused about that, yeah. Or kind of surprised, I would say. This sounds really weird, but yeah, they actually move that forward, you know. They don't want a clash between WUA 1.1 and ZZZ release, so yeah, that might be actually also another reason that they want to dodge the ZZZ release and get like a waifu out, you know, because like male banner releases tend to do not as much to make as much money compared to a waifu. So yeah, they want to, you know, hammer it home by getting like the best guns out forward before ZZZ comes around, and so they can sell her without disruption from the new game. So that may be a smart move on their part. So that's like part one. So there's also like more stuff coming up. So let me see if I can find also the post on their end. Like this is also like a huge announcement in terms of what time of optimizations they want to do. I'll come back in a second about this. So, and after seeing this tweet, now going back into the game and actually checking the news, now you can actually find this here when you pop up the news go on version update time adjustment notice, and you can actually find the announcement here exactly word for word. So it's not doctored, it's not like fake. You can also even see like we get like some additional, like we get a tempo on top, you know. And it gets distributed by June 3rd. So that at least gets us a little bit of help for pulling on Yinlin. Also, like you can see like the updated events for the characters. Yinlin will actually come out in 4 days. So that's kind of nuts. And yeah, this is definitely true. So that's crazy what they dropped here. Like it's literally a bombshell, and like, what? Yeah, but it makes sense. You know, they have to dodge ZZZ. So they will probably like do exactly for that reason here. So with other news here, they have also way more in pack and store here. I opened this already here up. So this is quite a lot what they do. So dear rovers, greetings. We are the Wuthering Waves dev team. Since the official launch of Wuthering Waves, we have received a lot of valuable feedback and suggestions through social media and in-game surveys. We are genuinely grateful for your attention and support. Sorry, pull the pop this away. We apologize for the deficiencies and issues present in Wuthering Waves, our first fully independently developed and globally published game at Kuro Games. We understand that this has affected your gaming experience, and we are working to improve it for those who love the game. We have been working on optimizations and iterations for the current 1.0 version, and the development of subsequent version updates is also underway. Below we will address some of the most discussed and concerned issues. Now here's quite a lot. So on the Echo development experience, Echo development feels grindy and inadequate energy materials. We are aware of the common concern in the community that the current echo leveling experience feels too grindy and the game lacks a wave plates storage system. So yeah, this would be amazing if they do that, like kind of like Honkai Star Rail, so that it doesn't pile up anymore. We have confirmed and will implement the following adjustments while we are working internally on solutions to address other common concerns. On the Echo development experience, Echo development feels grindy and inadequate energy materials. We are aware of the common concern in the community that the current Echo leveling experience feels too grindy and the game lacks waveplate storage system. This is really good. I hate how it's piling up when I'm not aware. Yeah, that's massive. Like similar like to Honkai Star Rail. If you're not online, like if you're not aware, like at least you get some of that currency stored. We have confirmed and will implement the following adjustments while we are working internally on solutions to address other common concerns. In the current version, we will launch a limited Echo material double yield event called Cleansing. Okay, that's something. In version 1.1, we will adjust the progression system to reduce shell credit cost of Echo development. In 1.1, we will remove the reward cutscene of the tacit field. Okay, that gets stuff a little bit faster, you know. So, and forward, the yield of echoes and echo development materials will be increased. And also introduce the waveplate storage system, which I mentioned here above. Regarding our handling of the reward system error when recycling developed echoes, we were notified of an issue with Echo recycling system where the amount of shell credits players obtained when recycling developed echoes was wrong. Since this is an issue that directly impacts the game's balance, we fixed this problem through an emergency live update on the same night and issued compensation to all players. As part of the measures to minimize the event's impact on the fairness within the player community, we informed the players of the situation and announced that we would remove all additional shell credits obtained unexpectedly as a result of this bug within 14 business days and issue compensations accordingly. However, due to the urgency of this issue, we failed to issue an announcement of this issue in the first instance, which regrettably caused negative experiences for our players. We sincerely apologize for our improper way of handling the situations and inconvenience it caused. So they fixed it and forgot to notify people about that. That's interesting. Following an internal discussion, we have decided to compensate all players with a shell credit based on the maximum amount of shell credit that had been unexpectedly yielded through this bug to address the negative impact cost. We will round up to the nearest whole number and provide extra compensation to all players, which is 1 million. It's actually not too bad. Eligibility character created a mailbox function unlocked. Okay. Yeah, so yeah, should play the game, they say, if you want to get it. We apologize again for the hasty way we handled the issue and for any inappropriate wording in our announcements. We promise for our future decisions that shall reflect true conversation and professionalism. Alright, next thing. On the error and 5-star description. So this was also like something really huge that I could pick up on social media over and over. I do not have like the full context on that, but I remember that some on the Japanese translations, there was like a one description that led people to believe that the weapon is stronger than it actually is. So they had to dial back on that and issued compensation, and that went back and forth. And then there were some emails that got allegedly leaked through that with a response that they did in the when they apologized, and that just made it worse and worse and worse. Yeah. So here they're only like addressing the mistranslation. So they corrected that promptly. Yeah, so they reviewed also all the weapons. I mean, one other fix would have been if they just left the other like stat, well, what they mentioned. Like, if it's not too egregious, it could have also as well left that missed translation and actually adjusted the weapon accordingly. But it didn't seem to be an option, so they didn't just follow through with that. So they rolled back on that. So I can see like how there could be like some that it dropped some people the wrong way. About the email issue, I cannot confirm this right now if that has actually happened, but some people like are peddling this. But I would take, I'm not sure if that actually went down because here's definitely no mention of that. In the meantime, we'll offer a one-time compensation of fortune tides times 5 to all robots or for the no localization issue. So, the course experience worldwide through in-game feedback channels, blah, blah. Thank you for your patience, understanding. On version events, we have received extensive feedback on the duration and awards of the Overdash Club event. To address your concerns, we are currently in the process of redesigning the rules and award schemes for the upcoming events, and immediate solutions are below. Okay, looks like they are kind of shortening that. Yeah. Designing the version events to improve the event content quality and rewards for your better experience. On future version updates timeline. Since the official launch of Wuthering Waves, we have received extensive feedback regarding the game's storyline, localization, and various other aspects. We have been listening closely and are grateful for the continued enthusiasm and support from our players, which has exceeded our expectations. To allow everyone early access to experience more content and features of Wuthering Waves in version 1.10, we have decided to advance the release of subsequent content in version 1.0. Starting on June 6th. So basically, they are advancing it forward, and so people get to see it earlier. This release will include the companion story, Solitary Path for Yinlin, so Yinlin release, the featured Resonator, convenient event, so weapon, so character and weapon release. Yep. Wuthering Waves version 1.0 will last until June 28, after which we will schedule our server downtime, yada yada. To compensate for the inconvenience, we get also a Radiant Tide 10x, so because the character comes early, we have less chances to farm for her, so it's good that they do that. On combat and control experience optimization, we have heard your feedback regarding the poor experience with auto-aiming and auto-lock-on controls. I have seen some wild stuff on some people's stream where a guy locked on some boss or animal and this lock-on didn't disappear, but like there was so much space in between the character, the player, and this monster, and he couldn't find that monster anymore, and the lock-on wouldn't disappear. So he had to look all over the map just to, get rid of that lock-on. So, and that drove him absolutely nuts. So, it feels like this kind of problems where that happened. Like I had not happened this to me, but I'm like, okay, turning it on and off. Sometimes I don't just use it, I just use like the regular camera rotation, So because I'm used to that, I'm not used to lock-on feature. Based on the issues that repeatedly come up in player discussions, we have identified the following issues and address them accordingly. Auto-aiming, auto-lock-on, and camera performance in battle. In the current updates, we have disabled the combat camera correction feature on PC by default. We have also optimized the default values and ranges for combat camera settings. Bosses existing combat state, probably exiting combat state unexpectedly. In recent updates, we have optimized the aggro ranges for certain bosses, including Thundering Mephis, Crownness, Lampilumen Myriad, and Impermanence Heron, and adjusted the prerequisites for enemies to leave the combat state to reduce abnormal disengagements. In upcoming updates, we will introduce a disengagement warning feature. So probably like you fighting those, and then in the middle of the fight they start to run away or something from you. Probably they mean something like this. I'm not 100% sure if they mean that. Ghost touch issues on mobile. In recent updates, we have expanded the anti-ghost touch area around buttons. I see, so that you are not misclicking some buttons you didn't intend. Probably like this. Future versions will include further optimizations for mobile controls. Delayed availability of custom key binding features. In prerequisite to unlock the custom keybind feature will be lowered to Union level 2. Does that actually need to be like level gated at all? Like why not just put it on level 1? Like not everybody who starts a new account is automatically a beginner, you know. Some people have multiple accounts. We will also, it's not the big thing, like Uni level 2 is not that far away, but yeah, I don't know. We will also introduce a new player tutorial for using the custom key binding feature, and we will gradually support more custom binding options for both keyboard, mouse, and controller modes. Controller mode experience optimization. We will remap the current controller shortcut of OpenChat to OpenMap and add an option to invert the y-axis. Future versions will support controller mode on mobile devices. I saw a few people complaining about that you cannot attach like a controller to your Android device, or I don't know if Apple offers that to them too. And yeah, it is for them really difficult to play the game. I can see that, and the controller would go a long way to alleviate that. As I mean, I never got used to mobile playing. I hate it. I never did on Genshin. I have 2 left hands for that. You can forget about that. So I just admire everybody who can master gameplay on mobile, but that's not for me. But it's cool that they add like controller support. That's big for these people. Poor game field design and impact signification. Field design. In future versions, we will constantly improve the event signification and game field design for characters and monsters, enhancing the overall combat experience and positive feedback during battles. On other contents, no purchase limits for store items like floor, leading to accidental purchases. In recent updates, we have added a weekly purchase limit for certain items in the store. Audio and sound effect bugs. In recent updates, we have addressed issues regarding missing sound effects and excessively loud ambient sounds. We have completed some investigations and updates to fix these issues. We will continue to optimize the audio experience to provide a more immersive audiovisual experience. I don't know, I didn't have these issues, but sometimes I had like where the sound is like kind of crackling a little bit. Where I wasn't sure, is it coming from the game, is it coming from my own system, or whatever this was, but yeah, it doesn't seem to appear anymore. Performance issues, crashes, and stability. In recent updates, we have fixed crash and stability issues affecting certain devices. We are currently identifying the causes for other crash reports and will continue to implement fixes. This is good. Deaths of Elusive Realm, event optimization updates. Numerous players' feedback and suggestions regarding the Deaths of Elusive Realm. We will further improve this event and add new content, including more playable characters, new challenges, new mechanics, and new buffs. Yeah, so this is like basically the gist of it, but like some of the biggest issues they definitely are taking on, like echo development, some in-combat stuff that people really like, that grinded people's gears. I've seen like people getting really frustrated on stream, like kind of shouting and etc. because stuff happened that just doesn't add anything to the experience, just adds frustration. Definitely things that are not intended to go that way, and then especially like with the lock on that they could turn off for whatever reason, and yeah, that's not good. So yeah, it's cool to hear that they are, you know, actively working on that, and even like considering pulling content up front so they can get those fixes earlier into the game. So that's one thing. But also like the idea of them, you know, kind of dodging the ZZ with the 1.1 character is also probably a good idea on their part. So yeah, I think tell me what you think about these changes, or like what they're doing. Are they doing enough, or is it nowhere near enough? Tell me your opinions in the comments. Thank you for watching. See you next time. This has been Neostar Impact. Bye bye. Are taking on like echo development, some in-combat stuff that people really like, that grinded people's gears. I've seen like people getting really frustrated on stream, like kind of shouting and etc. because stuff happened that just doesn't add anything to the experience, just adds frustration. Definitely things that are not intended to go that way, and then especially like with the lock on that they could turn off for whatever reason, and yeah, that's not good. So yeah, it's cool to hear that they are, you know, actively working on that, and even like considering pulling content up front so they can get those fixes earlier into the game. So that's one thing. But also like the idea of them, you know, kind of dodging the ZZ with the 1.1 character is also probably a good idea on their part. So yeah, I think tell me what you think about these changes, or like what they're doing. Are they doing enough, or is it nowhere near enough? Tell me your opinions in the comments. Thank you for watching. See you next time. This has been Neostar Impact. Bye bye.